You're watching A to Z episode 92.
Today's guest is Stephen Michutka, a.k.a. the Wood Pastor.
It's like they're trying to be too meta.
We're gonna make them an offer they can't refuse.
Much better.
Yeah. You
Can I buy you a drink? You can't just not
well, I mean, he did pick out somebody we know.
Well, you sidestepped the question. That technology does not exist.
Hey everybody, what's up you guys? I'm Aaron, I'm here with my co-host Zach.
Hi.
Welcome to A to Z Podcast, where we sit down with the folks that make Southeast Texas a better place to live.
If you're new to the show, thanks for checking us out. A to Z is available on all major podcast platforms, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, where we share updates, clips, and extra content. Also, we have a phone number.
Yeah, give us a ring.
It's 409-206-2971, and it's not just for just fun stuff. It's also for giveaways like the one we did last week, right?
Last week was our first official giveaway, and we had Dan Chris games. We had Cthulhu, the great old one. It's the deluxe card game. And we said at the very end of the last episode, which is how we're going to do it from now on, if you call our phone number, what's that again?
206-2971.
We said if you call the phone number, you leave a voicemail, you can put your hat in the ring for a chance to win this video game. That's exactly what we did. Seth Carl won. He called in, and he got the game. Congratulations. Cue that foghorn. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew. Oh, we can hear that voicemail here.
Hi, this is Seth Carl. I was just calling to leave a voicemail, throw my hat in the ring in hopes of getting that Cthulhu game by Dan Chris. I'm a big fan of board games, and me and my friends want to try a new one. So just calling to get a shot at that. Bye.
Dude, that feels cool, man. I
Pretty
like
cool.
that. It's we got a phone number and we're getting voicemails. That's pretty cool. So congratulations, Seth Carl. You got the Cthulhu, great old games. Thanks, Dan Chris, for this great giveaway. Remember, just always stick through to the middle, to the end of these episodes. We're going to do stuff like this from now on. So.
Yeah, and today's episode is going to be, he's Instagram famous. He's all over social media as the Wood Pastor, but it's Stephen Michutka. He's a guy from Lumberton, just a family dude that just loves building things with wood.
We get into a lot of things. We talk about how he kind of quit his job and he's able to sustain him and his family with something that started off as a hobby and now as a job, and kind of like being Instagram sort of famous, and all the pathways that are opened up when you are on social media. And it's just a great episode with a good salt of the earth type of guy,
Yeah, so enjoy this episode with the Wood Pastor.
Some people would take like those softwoods and they'll they'll put it in some kind of thing, basically like make it more dense and fill they'll fill all the, not epoxy. You can do that.
I thought you were talking about like they put in like the vacuum chamber and fill it with okay.
It's basically
And they'll fill it with resin.
A lot of people will do that with like pen blanks and stuff like that. That if you turn it, it'll just like tear up. But if you stabilize it, you can turn some.
People
really
call
cool
it diamond wood. I've heard it referred to as diamond wood. I follow a guy on Instagram called Heath Knuckles, and that's like one of his big things is he does these like resin like vacuum chamber sort of sealing with wood, and he'll find burl, like a nice good piece of burl, maybe just like a little blank, and he'll build a small little mold, and then he'll pour a resin, put it in a vacuum chamber, and then he'll like spin it to make like spheres or just whatever, just nice little.
It's popular.
Tabletop things, yeah.
And
it's,
I've got a few
it's really
friends
cool.
that do it. I'm like, I need to send you some of this like lighter stuff, and just if I can make like a small box out of it or something, but it'd be like super dense.
Right.
Where normally it would be like kind of light.
Yeah.
So, I've heard,
So, welcome to the show, man.
Hey,
I guess
man.
we'll kick it off like that.
Man,
Your name
hour
is
two.
Steve. I didn't get your last name. Stephen
Michutka. Yeah.
And you're the Wood Pastor on
Yes,
Instagram.
the Wood Pastor.
Yeah. So what? You're a woodworker. And you were telling me before we got started that like this, it's your full time gig. Like that's kinda
Yep,
what you do.
it is full time as of March.
Yeah.
So, what are we at? 8 months, 8+.
It's going good. You think you're gonna stick with it?
I don't think. I mean, like I'll probably always build, but I don't think I'll always be doing it full time. I don't think it's sustainable forever. I don't think it's a long term. It was never really a long term play. I've always just done it on the side, and I kind of I went into doing it full time in March because I needed to.
Yeah. Did this come before or after you got so many followers on Instagram?
What, the full time?
Yeah.
It came after. I mean, I was honestly transitioning to another job, and it didn't play out. So my wife said, "Why don't you just try to push some of your builds right now, or try to get some clients?" And that's what I started doing in March, and it sustained us until now.
I mean, that was many months ago, though. So
yeah, I mean,
you're
8
doing
months.
something
I
right.
didn't think I didn't think I'd be going.
You're doing
this long.
something right. Yeah.
So,
So you found that have you gotten like, so you were doing it, you've been doing it for a while, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I started almost, I think this month will be 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
So where did this whole like Instagram like push come from? Like,
what's funny is I was on Facebook, and then I started a Facebook business page because you got to do that if you're a business.
Yeah.
And then I started Instagram just because dumbly I thought Instagram would pull more local business. I was just trying to do more builds locally. I wasn't like trying to go for a number or anything. I just wanted more exposure, and I was like, okay, if I'm on Facebook business, if I start doing YouTube later, Instagram, do a website, I can just pull from all these different ones. And then Instagram just started moving.
Yeah.
Like it just started taking off.
Yeah.
And I just started feeding it, and it started moving some more, and it was fun. Like when you're growing, it's fun. So
yeah.
It's like a game. Yeah.
I mean,
It really is.
You're at like 42 something thousand right now?
42 something.
Yeah.
42 point something right now.
That's wild. Like what like kickstarted that? It just started happening?
You probably were hashtagging properly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When I first started growing, it was honestly, I started engaging with a lot of people, and the people that you engage with through messages and comments and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't give to Instagram. You can't take from Instagram and not give anything.
Yeah.
Seriously, you're not gonna grow
Right, yeah.
if you're not giving something. So if you're messaging people and just talking to them pretty consistently and authentic about it, not like, hey man, follow me, I'll follow you. Like literally, it's a lot because it's a lot of relationships to keep up with. But those people will in turn like and comment on your post
And share it.
Yeah, and share it and stuff. And like people used to do follow Fridays and stuff a lot more, but just kind of grew fast several years ago, pretty organically.
Yeah.
It's fun on Instagram too, especially with like woodworking, because on Instagram there's so many like little niches and little communities and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I like to look at when I'm sleepy and tired is actually woodworking on Instagram.
There's a ton.
I got easy woodworking. I got like DIY stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I have lathe people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like all of that. Like people that build like Cypress porch swing or porch rocking chairs.
The stuff I'll never build, but I'll watch someone else build it.
Oh yeah.
The viral 20-second videos too, where it's just like someone scraping with a.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, I can suck.
I saw one the other day with the bow, and he was making a fire, but he spent probably 24 hours working on this piece of equipment to make the fire in the woods.
Yeah.
He made the string out of the wood too and everything.
The one that gets me, every time is the woodworking project. It's a round table, and when you spin it, it expands, and when you spin it the other way, it goes back down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Engineered.
The engineered.
Yeah, the very engineered woodworking stuff.
Yeah, you have to
the woodworking
build an algorithm on the computer and be like, all right, cool, this is gonna work.
I've seen woodworking videos where it's videos about them making things to use for woodworking, like clamps and stuff.
Yeah, jigs.
Yeah,
people use a ton of jigs on a table saw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And bandsaw and stuff like that. But yeah,
big time. It's cool though. It's a very unique community, like on Instagram. You know what I mean? It's like one of these. I feel like there's a lot of craftsman communities on there too, because I follow like a lot of forgers and bladesmiths and architectural blacksmiths and
a lot of
ringmakers and artisans, and it's like they've all kind of found this place on Instagram because it is so easy to have a community.
It's like Pinterest and AOL kind of baby, and it's Instagram. Like literally, you find your best friends through Instagram that aren't local. Like if you're looking for someone, you know, in the same country, having the same hobby as you, and then people are starting to do it for years. They've been meeting up. Like
have you met anybody through it?
They're still creating these meetups. Yeah. I've met companies through there, and then I've met several guys through there. Like some of my, it's weird to say, but like some of my best friends I've met through Instagram and they're makers.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy in the UK that I've met, and he's got family in Baton Rouge.
Wow.
And he's got a thick accent, but like just super cool guy.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd make friends, but I didn't think I'd make like close friends through Instagram.
Really? Like these are people that like,
Yeah, I'm like,
really-
we'll be acquaintances and we'll have some like surface level friendships and stuff. But I'm like we text each other, like we talk, like we literally talk about the Bible, we talk about making, we talk about life. It's like a brother. Seriously, it's weird.
Wild.
That's
like,
crazy,
it's
man.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like a
Instagram,
ton of those. There's like
No,
3 or 4
yeah.
guys that I'm like pretty close to because we're very similar,
Uh-huh.
and it's just easy to talk.
Yeah.
And like if you're in the area, I'll drive and meet you just for a couple of days or whatever. But
And it's all just through this Instagram thing.
yeah, it started through Instagram, straight up, man.
And so what, like, are you, does anybody, like, I guess in your immediate circle of friends or any of your friends or family, are they like, this guy's like Instagram famous? They pick on you about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
people at church.
Yeah.
People at church more than anything, they're like, in the beginning, they're like, wood pastor.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, a pastor.
Yeah, why? Yeah, what was with the name? Yeah, because I think you made a post about it saying that you're not a pastor.
Yeah, I'd say that a lot because I
Yeah.
get new followers and they're like, oh, dude, I thought you were a pastor. I've been following you for 2 years. And I'm like, man, I try to say pretty often that I'm
He ain't
not.
said a prayer once.
But that's the beauty of the name. It's I was doing staging for my church, just like helping out, like because I knew I could build, and they're like, "Hey, Stephen will help us with some stuff for
Oh,
cheap."
it's Christmas time.
Yeah,
you got
it's Christmas time, backdrops,
You got
whatever,
a lot of plays you got to do.
random stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've done furniture for them and stuff,
Yeah.
and they paid me, but some stuff,
We need somebody to
started
build a
out
manger. Come on.
free.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There he is. We need a whole boat on the stage, which they don't do as big staging anymore. But we were doing a backdrop, and I was teaching at the time because I taught for 10 years,
Really?
and I didn't love it.
What did you teach? Teach shop?
Early childhood education.
Really?
Special ed, yeah.
Wow, okay.
For about 10 years. Yep.
Didn't love it.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
I love kids. I love teaching. I didn't like public education.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
like answering. I didn't like all the paperwork and the state and the. It's just like it was a lot. But I was doing that, and teachers don't make a lot of money, so we were outside working on something for staging. And I told my friend, and he's on staff, and he goes, I said, y'all wouldn't have to pay me much to put me on staff. I said I could be like the first wood pastor of a church. I'm like, I've never heard of a wood pastor. I was like, let's do it. And he's like, I don't think so, man. But he's like, that's hilarious. So he told the staff, and everybody started calling me pastor.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the church started calling me pastor. Like,
Oh,
they want to talk
no.
about woodworking. Like, hey, pastor, I want to talk to you quick. I'm like, what's up? Like, I know we're going to talk about wood.
You got a wonky
Like, I know we're going to talk
cabinet.
about furniture or something. I'm like, what you got? And they're like, I need a cabinet built. And I was like, all right, okay, we will. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good for business.
Yeah.
We need an ark. We're gonna. Yeah. I heard
We should
it's about
build
to
that.
flood.
You're going to have to hire me for 20, actually 100 years.
Yeah.
That's how long it takes to build an ark.
What's your so like you were talking about everybody else likes they have their own things that they do. Like what's your like what do you like? Like what do you like working with? Like your thing. Is it tables?
Tables are my go-to. They seem really simple, but there's one little change or something like making this. It's not a true slab like live edge, but I just had a client pick up something like this yesterday where there's a live edge there and there, but it's all glued up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
this
you
is
can
like,
actually have a slab.
It's like a laminate almost.
Yeah, it's glued up, but the two edges are, kind of have that came from a tree look.
Yeah.
There's just so much you can do with table tops and then table bases, and then you just use them. They're super functional. I don't like building stuff that's just like, I like it to be pretty, to
Yeah.
be nice, but functional and clean.
So you're a function over form type of guy.
I like both.
Yeah.
I like
You gotta-
both, and then cost effective too. Like
It's got to have that value.
like everybody likes walnut, and it's easy to make walnut look
Yeah.
really nice. But then I found some really cool poplar locally.
Poplar.
Poplar,
No,
yeah,
that's like a trash wood, isn't it?
it can be. I
Poplar's
mean, like
a trash wood? Why?
it's better than
like-
pine.
Well, it also I've never seen
Everything's made out of pine. I didn't know that it was such a bad wood.
I've never
Like,
seen poplar like bigger around than this. Like I've never seen a tree bigger than this.
They get some pretty wide. I've got
Really?
some like 12, 13-inch wide
Wow.
pieces.
I've like never seen it. Growing up as a kid, it was always it's so
bendy and switchy. You know?
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's porous and it's a softer wood too. But if you get some pieces that has like this purple and black running through it, I made a few coffee tables out of it, and people lost their mind.
Really? Just from the color?
I would have never even thought.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anybody using poplar.
It's like a dollar something a board foot around here.
Yeah.
Even the purple and black stuff, like you just pick through it because people are going to paint over it. Or you can get walnut for $6 around here a board foot, or $12 in Houston. And it's like, I'll get poplar, and it looks good. And people are like, "What'd you stain that with?" I'm like, "Nothing. That's how it looks." I need to send you some pictures.
It's like
pretty cool.
You got some
it's
wood.
a poor man's walnut.
Yeah. You got some like wood purists out there being like, he sold somebody a poplar table, and people are loving it.
It's gonna move so much. Wood movement.
Is that what I mean? Is that like was it gonna like separate?
That's why stuff like this happens, where you said there's a little ridge. It'll just even if it's super dense and dried out, you're still gonna get little raised lines every now and then or something.
It's still an organic thing.
Yeah, I love it. I'd leave it. I wouldn't even try to refinish it.
This thing?
Yeah, the more you beat it up, the better it's gonna look.
Yeah.
Give it a little patina, give it a little use.
Like, what's like the lifespan of like a table that somebody made by hand?
It should be forever.
It should be forever.
It should be forever if
like
it's done right.
You want to build it like it's gonna be forever.
Yes, it should be forever.
Actually, did you see Nick Offerman just did a Hot Ones?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who Nick Offerman is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Ron Swan. Yeah, he was on Hot Ones, and that was one of the questions was about like his woodworking and stuff like that. And the question was, what would you say to somebody who wants to get into doing woodworking and all that, and they mess up? And he was saying it doesn't matter if you mess up. I mean, if you make something that's not that pretty, it's still going to be more valuable than something you buy from IKEA.
Yep.
Anything like that.
A lot of places.
Yeah. Even if you build it and it's not that great, it's got character.
Yep.
You can give it to your kids. It's going to last forever because it's real wood. And it was really cool.
And if you keep doing
Ron
it,
Swanson, man,
and care about what you do, it's just gonna get your pieces are gonna get better. Like there's stuff I made 7 years ago. I'm like, I hate that. And I sold it. I sold it to someone. And at that time, I'm like, God, it's
I can't believe somebody.
Yeah. And now I'm like, God, that's ugly. And I didn't even put a finish on it. I just stained it and sold it.
I mean, you've learned so many things. I mean, it's just like anything else, it's an art form, I guess you would say, woodworking.
Yeah, I would say.
A craft, or it's a trade and an art form at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds too. I mean, shoot, there's people that they exclusively build like tables and chairs.
Oh, yeah.
And they do like amazing work.
When you specialize in something, I think that's where you can make more money. If you do everything,
you become the cabinet guy, or you become that guy.
If you're doing everything, you better have a crew, and they better be a bunch of specialists. But that's why I turn down a ton of jobs, even local. I'm like, And if it's something I really don't want to do, I'll just way up charge.
Yeah,
and make them say no, or make it way worth it. So I'm smiling the whole time I'm doing it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting paid really good.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's people that just build frames, like picture frames.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like just frame builders.
I don't think I could do that, though.
Would tables would be like your thing? Like that's your go-to?
Tables,
because I saw that cabinet that you made that looked amazing.
Yes.
Let me see if I can.
There's so much to that, though. I don't know. I don't get as much joy out of building a big cabinet like that.
Yeah.
Like if I just did the lower part with the drawers, maybe, or just like some uppers that you put in. Like I like pieces of stuff. I don't like stuff you're gonna put all together.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why I like a table. You can move it anywhere.
Yeah, it's a big solid piece.
It can go with you.
That
Yeah.
thing right there.
Oh,
But
dang.
tables,
Looks really good.
I like tables, end tables, coffee
Oh man, that
tables.
looks good.
Cutting boards are still fun. Like that's something I got into a few years ago.
What do you mean?
Cutting boards
Yeah.
for cooking.
Oh, making like cutting boards.
Yeah,
Okay.
making cutting boards, and they're good for gifts.
No,
Yeah.
they're like the best for gifts.
Well, you make one out of like a bunch of little pieces.
Yeah, glue up strips, plane it down,
And then
square it up,
router it on the edge, and
Yeah,
bevel
however you want to
yeah.
put it on it. Put some little rubber feet on it so it doesn't move.
I'm trying to think of
Boom.
the last thing I did with wood, and I think it was that dance floor for
that
Son
was
of
probably
Hot
the
Band.
last thing you did. Yeah.
And it was a terrible piece of carpentry, I will say. I had this I was in this DJ group, and we played at Thirsty's a lot, and I wanted to make some kind of dance floor. So I get a bunch of wood to make this dance floor. It's supposed to be portable. We can just set it up. And I think I put
like 3/4 inch OSB underneath like 1/2 inch plywood.
Yeah.
And it probably weighed 150 pounds.
Yeah, it weighed a
together.
bajillion pounds.
Yeah.
And I moved it maybe twice and then left it in the yard. And I put some kind of finish. I think I used like latex paint, but I finished it with something that doesn't
It's kind of rubbery.
Yeah, so it kind of became like this. I made a dance floor with a like a stick coating.
Yeah, it was a real sticky dance floor, not
Yeah.
slidey.
Like it never.
Yeah,
Like it never cured or something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's still curing in the yard right now. Yeah, that thing.
That's funny.
It's a monster. Like I could have saved probably a lot of money and time.
I've learned a
having
lot
not
just
doing
by
that.
doing crap like that.
Yeah,
screwing up. I mean, I've wasted a lot of money on stuff. I've straight up built like 3 benches at once and kept one.
Yeah.
And took 2 out back and just lit it on fire. And my wife was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "We could have used that." I'm like, "No, it was. I need to see it on fire." I did not want to even try to salvage it. It made me feel good to just be like,
this is therapeutic. I need to see the flames.
and I am done. I wasted 2 hours, and
What, you tried to make like all the same bench, and then only one made the cut?
I think I was making a bench for a friend with some wood that they gave me, and it was kind of twisted wood. So the legs kind of twisted, and I was not about to take it apart. And he had some extra pieces, so I was going to make myself a bench. And his turned out really great, and mine turned out really crappy. And I was like, no, whatever. You get the good one, obviously, because they paid me for it.
Yeah.
And I just burnt the other one. It's like fire time.
Yeah. the cleansing fire.
Yeah.
Well, we learn from our mistakes, you know. That's how we learn.
Oh, 100%. Yep.
Yeah. And if you're working with cheap wood, then it's not going to be that big of a deal. If you're working with pine, it's like, oh, okay, cool.
It's just pine.
Yeah, I'll just make it.
I have a friend that mocks up everything with pine before he actually builds whatever he's going to build.
I mean, I would too if I was like working with mahogany or something, or zebra wood or something crazy. I would definitely make a pine mock.
So you would basically make it all out of pine and then remake it.
He does on certain pieces.
Yeah.
On a small piece, he'll probably make the whole thing out of pine, but he does like furniture design. So he wants to see what it'll look like, and he's told me, he's like, if I make this out of yellow pine, he's like, and it looks good, he's like, it's going to look really good.
It's going to look
in
amazing.
anything else. And I was like, that's a really good idea. He's like, plus I save money making any changes I want to make to it, like the legs and all that stuff. I'm like, I might start doing that. No, I'm not. Like,
No, it's
I'm stupid. I take big risks. I'm like, I'm gluing all of it up.
What was that most recent one that you put up? Was that little chair? Like, what was that?
Yeah.
Was that a personal project, or was that?
That
something?
was for me, and I could have done like a way better design on it, but I let the wood stand out. So there was walnut on it, and then the back and the seat was that poplar that I was talking about.
Kind of filled in the middle.
Yeah. But that had like some of that purple and stuff in it. But that was, I made that strictly just to put in like this really small little desk spot behind our door in our bedroom.
Yeah.
Because like we got like 15 inches behind the door. And then I had a friend that asked me to showcase his product, it's walrus oil, which is a furniture finish oil.
Man, there's nothing like watching
walrus oil, huh?
Walrus oil.
That video, any video of like unfinished wood, and then you get that one wipe.
Yeah.
You know, where it shows where it pops through. It's just like, oh.
Yeah. That's the other thing with that chair.
When you wipe the like the dust off, you know? Yeah, you hit it with that, and you hit it, like,
and it's just like glowing, that wood.
Like, look at that grain.
Especially walnut.
Yeah.
Walnut's just like, it's real gray.
Yeah.
Like sanded, and then you just put some oil on it. It's like, oh my
Pops.
gosh. Like, it looks so good.
No, that's the thing about Instagram too, is it's like all of like the super cool stuff rises to the top, like in your feed. So if you're looking through a woodworking feed, it'd be nothing but like redwood burl, and they're like doing the wipe. It's like you're like, oh, you hit me with that burl. Like inlays and intricate stuff. And there's always such an inconsistency on there too, with like names and hashtags. It's hilarious. Like I follow one called like Easy Woodworking Project, like a hashtag.
Yeah.
And it's always like the craziest stuff. Like I saw one that was a bench and a picnic table in one, and you just like, you move it and pull it out. All you got to do is pick it up, and it just goes to be it's a transformer. It's a wood transformer is what it is. I'm like, how is this even remotely an easy woodworking project? /hashtag DIY.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean,
But
if
it's
that's all
satisfying.
you're building,
Yeah.
yeah, you can throw them together. I've had people ask me to build that, and I'm like, you're not going to pay for that.
Come on.
Yeah.
man.
You're not going to pay for that around here.
It's real satisfying.
Most of
to,
it's
like,
the
watch
hours,
that.
right?
Yeah.
It's just how many hours it would take into making it.
Well,
Because you're going to break it like 3 times before you get it right.
Oh, yeah. And then some of that's hardware. Like
Yeah, a
the
lot of
tables
it's
that twist
hardware.
out. Like,
Yeah, you can
it's
buy a
really
kit.
cool wood and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's like, you better have like the hardware and set it up right. Like,
Right.
it's probably extremely machined.
Yeah, having like a swing arm function and like a cantilever on a piece of wood.
Yeah. With people,
Sounds super extra.
I like to see what the people come up with in the tiny houses and stuff because they got to
yeah,
get
for
really
real.
creative with them.
Yeah.
Like, look at
Like
this
Murphy
table,
beds
and
and
then it's
stuff.
like this table, and you're like, how they
For real.
fold that out of that shoebox?
That's another thing I follow on Instagram. It's like tiny houses.
Yes.
Okay,
know,
well, I
I love
guess
that.
let's call it a break at the tiny house conversation. So we'll hit a little quick break. We'll come back. All right.
All right, but we better come back on tiny houses though.
Okay, we can do that.
All right.
Oh, hey guys, Tyler here. Thanks for putting me on. Listen, I'm a long-time listener, but a first-time caller. Just wanted to send some positive vibes your way and encourage you guys to keep the momentum going and hit that episode 100. It's right around the corner. I'm wishing you guys good stamina, and I quit saying good luck. Instead, I say, I know you're going to do great out there because I want to speak positivity. All right, see you later.
All right, guys. Well, we're about halfway through, so you know what that means. It is time for us to give a little space for our advertisers, for our sponsors. You know,
Yeah.
the guys that keep these lights on. And for the city of Beaumont, on Thursday, December 5th, we have Old Lonesome. That's in the Jefferson Theater Alley. It's their alleyway concert.
The alley
series.
concerts are pretty cool, and we actually have an upcoming episode with Old Lonesome that will be coming out preemptive to their album release in late December. But a little read for Old Lonesome in this show, inspired by the likes of Bo Diddley, R.L. Burnside, and the Rolling Stones. Old Lonesome look to recreate the classic colors and tones of yesteryear and express their love for entertaining through their high-octane and energetic live shows. Their debut LP, Turn It On, is currently set to hit shelves December 2019. I think it's going to be in the 28th.
Between
Doors are
Christmas and New Year's.
yeah, something like that. Like doors are at 7, shows 7:30. Tickets are $10. Can be purchased ahead of time at the Civic Center box office. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 1. It's a great record. Cool band. I mean, it's like it's soulful and it's bluesy.
It's bluesy
and
and rocky, and it's gonna make your pants come off.
It's pretty awesome. Like we've been able to
yeah.
hear like some of the masters, and it's pretty exciting.
That's for sure. And the alleyway concert series is really cool. It's a nice space. And if you stick around to the end of the episode, we're gonna tell you guys how you can win 2 free tickets to this. We're just gonna keep it coming with these
But
giveaways.
if you want more information or events, head on over to discoverbeaumont.com. And now we're going to get back to our episode with the Woodcaster.
Yeah, you can only do so much. I mean, especially as you get older, it's like, I can't play basketball every night. I'd die.
Yeah.
Like, for real, though. I mean, you got to recover at some point or just, like, take a mental break.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the hardest thing for me going full-time in March was, like, our personal stuff kind of got put on hold. And then even when I have time for the personal stuff, I just want to chill.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with the family. I don't want to be out there working because that's my job now.
Do you like so you do this full time since March, and you do it out of that your little garage?
1-car garage,
Yeah.
Straight up.
Really, you don't have a shop?
Nuh-uh.
It's got a 1-car garage.
Dude, can you imagine me buying
How did I not-
renting a space in Lumberton?
Oh,
Like
God.
Lumberton's
high.
is high, and then I don't even know where I could rent and make a bunch of noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would only need the space just to build bigger stuff and just
Right,
keep it
yeah.
there.
You do it for certain things.
Yeah, I've turned down stuff just because I'm like, I can't build that and keep it in the garage while I'm finishing it and possibly doing other stuff. So yeah, it's all out of that 1-car garage,
Wow, I didn't know
and it
that.
limits me a little bit. Yeah, the table that I just did, I was like, I get my garage back because it was like 55 inches from knot to knot, and then 8 foot, and then the base.
Yeah, that's a lot of real
Yeah.
estate.
And I had them separate until yesterday. I put them together just for pictures and then let them take them. And I was like, I got my garage back. Now I got to make 2 cabinets. And they're not huge. I can stack those easy and move them around, but
Yeah.
I had this idea for a while, and I was looking at this building off MLK. It was an old charter school, and they had an auditorium slash gymnasium, and it was super structurally sound. The other part of the school wasn't. And like I wanted to take it and make like a communal like workshop space.
Maker space, right?
A maker space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to do that. And then the church that was across the street from it, they owned it. And I had emailed them a bajillion times trying to, work with them and give them the idea. It was like, hey, I want to do this. They would never, ever get back to me. It happened over years. And then I drove past there like 2 months ago and I always look over at it. City demolished it. It's gone.
Wow.
The whole thing's just gone. It's flat. Yes. And it was such a knife in the heart. I was like, oh, it was so much potential just lost.
yeah.
Because there's so many people that would love to get into like woodworking or crafting or like pottery or anything like that. They just don't have the space. Because even some people like yourself, you're a homeowner, but you have a one-car garage,
Yep.
Some people are in apartments, then they still want to do it.
100%.
And there's such a barrier to entry.
You got to find somewhere.
Yeah, you have to find somewhere. And then even like beyond that, there's special tools that would just be a lot easier if it was like communal. Like not everybody can afford a lathe.
Half doing stuff like that is having the tools for the job.
Yeah. Like if you're a table maker, it would be really cool to have a lathe so you could turn legs,
No, yeah, I agree.
And it would be great if, community like bore the cost of it. But
yeah, I know people that are wanting to start that in cities outside of here, but there's a guy in Houston that I'm friends with through Instagram, and he's doing that.
Yeah.
But for underprivileged like youth and stuff.
well, that was the thing.
So they're learning
like
these
trade
kids.
skills.
Yeah, these kids are learning to build.
Yeah.
And it's literally wood shop outside of school. Like it's not a school.
That was half of it too, is because schools nowadays don't have shop anymore. Like they don't have.
It's too much for the
Yeah.
insurance.
Well, even if they did, it was like it was normally for me.
Yeah.
It was like the not poor kids, but the honestly bad behavior kids.
The country kids.
Yeah, it was the bad kids.
I was in auto shop in school.
Yeah, it was the bad kids that took, but honestly, those are the kids that actually need to be taking it because
they're not going to school.
They're good with their hands.
Yeah.
They need a trade, but then it's how you teach it too.
Yeah.
Like it's not just this is woodworking. You're going to learn everything. It's just like some of the teachers treat it like I got the bad kids.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They're like babysitting basically.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll build a
I
brick
can't
house.
teach you how I want to teach in here. It's like no, bad attitude.
Built a stool, like an 8-inch stool.
Yep.
Yeah.
My brother built a stool. I never took wood shop.
No.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
How'd you get into woodworking?
I was just, I literally just thought I could do it. Like, I was cheap. I didn't want to, I was like, if I'm going to pay for something that looks like IKEA, I can just build it myself.
Yeah.
And then
sure.
I just thought I'd do a few projects, Like, I was borrowing tools, and I've always had a one-car garage. I was just borrowing tools and did a bed for my son, but I had a lot of help with the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I got plans for me a bed. It was a twin-size bed because I was single at the time, and it was just me and my son. Made a twin-size bed, and I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Like, because it came together, and I used plans. Like, I used someone else's plans that already built the whole thing, so I didn't have to think. Well, then you do that for a year or two, and if you really want to get into it, it's like, man, I kind of want to design some of my own stuff. So I started taking what I knew and put it into other pieces of furniture and stuff, and just started having fun with it. And that's when it got really fun, and then kind of made it a business. I was like, I'll build whatever, to an extent.
Yeah, so you didn't like apprentice with anybody? You just kind of
it was.
How'd you teach yourself? Just like books or like YouTube? Or?
Just doing the plans and then kind of getting a baseline off of plans. And then whenever you actually get into like the niche communities of Instagram or anywhere, it could be YouTube or something. Like if you just make the right connections with people and you're like, hey man, I saw you did this table, especially if they're all your friend, you're like, how did you join this together?
Right.
What's the best way to do this
dovetail?
or that?
See that? That's a weird dovetail.
I don't know if I'll ever get that into joinery. Like, I don't know if I ever want to do a dovetail. Not because I'm against it.
Yeah.
It's just
hard.
like, that's a niche.
It's hard, man.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's not practical for me either. Like, maybe when I'm way older and I just have time to just do dovetails.
Yeah.
I don't have jigs where it's like, and you just do it with a stinking. I just don't get any satisfaction from chiseling out a dovetail. I know there's some guys that do, and when it fits, they're like, this is awesome. I'm like, I just want to build. I don't want to just like crap stuff out.
I'm gonna screw and glue this together. And guess what? It's not coming apart.
I just like. I think I like the design side of stuff and functionality.
Yeah.
Like dovetails look really cool, but I'm gonna order like dovetail drawers from a shop or something.
Yeah. Right.
Just use them as a piece
And install them myself.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, and a lot of it's like, if it's gonna be hidden, why bother? You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's got to hold like thousands of pounds or something, right? Like that's what a dovetail joint's good for. It's like really strong.
It's that mainly it looks pretty. Like it is. Yeah. It can be strong, but it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Like really, it's better than just butt joints. But like the strongest joint is like a half flap because there's so much surface area.
Right.
And you put glue there, it's like
it's more.
That's the
like,
best way to join anything.
It's more structurally integral. You know. It's all wood at the end of the day, right? And I mean, dovetail's not going to be the strongest.
So you just started just making stuff? Made your bed? You still have those beds?
I started making furniture for myself, and then when I got confident enough, I started like when I made that one twin bed, I was still teaching. And I was early childhood, so I taught with a bunch of women, and there was a few that were like, "Can you build my kids a bed?" I was like, "Sure." So I built a few twin beds and a few queens.
Any race car beds? No race car
beds?
No,
I don't never built any like theme beds, but I got tired of beds quick, and I was like, I want to do a dining table. So I built myself a dining table, then a coffee table, and I just started playing with design and started selling what I built for myself. I would build for myself,
and then get tired of it and kind of be like, "This is for
I'm like, well, now I want to build a different dining table." I'm like, who wants to buy this dining table for $500? And it was a decent little dining table, and I'd sell it for almost nothing just for materials and build something else. And then every build that I built, I just learned something new, and I got tired of all my like first 2 years were probably pine because that's what the DIY plans are is pine. And you go to the lumber store, you pick up pine. And then I was like, man, I want to do something like nice. Like I want to do a nice hardwood top. So then I started messing with like German beech, which is super dense. And
how do you find these woods? Do you like go?
You go to a cabinet shop. Like, there's one in Nederland and there's one in Viter. And then if you want like some really exotic woods, you go to Houston. There's several in Houston.
Sure, in Houston, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you're gonna pay a little bit
like
more
if you
for
want
it.
Purple Heart or something.
Yeah, Purple Heart. There's a ton of stuff.
You want ebony?
There's stuff I can't even pronounce the words. I'm serious. I'm like, and then they actually categorize their maples. They're like, this is something, 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 something maple. I'm like, is it? There's like 5 different kinds of maple. And there's like one little different thing about it. I'm like, all right, I'm not paying $10 a board foot for that.
That one little thing is like super important to somebody doing
something. Like bird's eye maple or something.
Yeah,
which if you haven't seen
a lot of
that,
guitars. They make a lot of guitars out of it.
It looks really neat. Like it looks really cool.
It's got the little eyes all over it.
Yeah, and you're gonna pay more for it too. So it just depends on what you're doing and what you want. But yeah, I just started looking at like the cheaper hardwoods that people use all the time, like maple, cherry, walnut. And then I got into making cutting boards too, and sold several of those through Instagram. Like it was just
you can make a business off just cutting boards.
Oh yeah, there's people that do. I don't think I'll ever build just one thing, but like if I had to say my favorite, it's always going to be tables and cutting boards or something. Which literally, if you think about a cutting board, it's just a mini tabletop.
That's all it is. Yeah,
that you cut on.
It's a table for your table.
It's a table for your table, man.
I love those like cross section, like live edge, like tree cross section cutting boards.
What is a live edge? Live edge is like it's natural.
Like it's got barks.
What's funny is it's not alive; it's dead.
Yeah, it's definitely dead.
But people say live edge all
it's
the
like
time.
The finish on it. Yeah,
it's just that came off the tree.
Yeah,
look.
That's like a natural grain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love those cutting boards.
How do you take care of a cutting board like a wood cutting board?
Man, I have a video for that on YouTube. I literally was selling so many cutting boards and had so many friends going, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, don't put it in the dishwasher, I'll tell you that.
Can you cut chicken on it? You can't use chicken?
That's actually in the video. But really, I made a YouTube video strictly just because I was like, I kept repeating myself so much, and we'd have conversations, and then people would forget, and they're like, well, what do I buy? And I'm like, oh my God, this is the third time we've had this at church. You know,
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, so I started doing that. I sent them the link, and they'll just go back through the conversation and go, hey, you bought that stuff that you sent me? And I was like, fantastic. And we didn't have to talk about it. And I got views on YouTube. Dang. So I need to update it because I kind of changed the way that I care for it, but it's pretty much the same. You just have to, I mean,
Just
you
keep
can take care of it.
Keep it oiled. Keep it.
Yeah, keep it oiled, keep it clean. Don't cross-contaminate it. Like you're not supposed to cut raw meats on cutting boards.
Board.
But people don't know that. People will
I didn't know that. Yeah.
put bleach on a board because they're cutting
But then that's in there.
raw meats on. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, unless like you do an epoxy resin like fill, if you fill the wood in, then you can.
yeah. Well, even then, that epoxy still has the ability to chip out, and then it's like eating plastic.
That's true. It does have and that's not what you want on a cutting board.
They say, I think
What can you use a cutting board for then?
vegetables and then cooked meat. Like that's what people are doing with the juice grooves and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Cutting them
I don't
steaks.
want my juice on the board. I'm like,
No.
I've never had so much juice that it's like running over. I'm like, I need a juice groove. But people do it and they make money with it, like a big old brisket or something. I get that.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you don't really need like raw meat is you're just like at the very most you have to like maybe quarter a chicken.
Yeah.
You know, everything else because meat's already broke down for you. You usually don't do that much cutting on it or you trim the fat off, stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right.
The real like arduous task of cutting boards is vegetables.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like dicing and julienning and all that. It
sounds silly, but like if you cut on plastic or even like those real thin sheets, if you actually cut on a wood cutting board,
feels better.
It's so different. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the wood cutting boards like you can buy at Target or something. They look really nice, but it doesn't like grab a knife like
it keeps you in a
handmade
groove,
one.
kinda.
It really does. It like lets go of it. It's crazy.
And it like saves your knives too. You have to sharpen them less.
Yeah. Because
It's
they're not,
very
they're
nice.
not pressing into this like fiber or this. All my cutting boards are made out of that kind of rubberized, I guess. Like what is that stuff? It looks like it's like the white cutting boards, you know, the plastic. I guess it's plastic.
Yeah, plastic.
It's plastic.
Seems like
They
that would
say
be
that that's actually less sanitary than a wood cutting board that's kept up with.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to. So with those, with the like the plastic cutting boards, as soon as you start seeing scratches in it, you're supposed to throw them away.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then people
or
run those
everything
in the dishwasher too, and you're not. They say that you're not.
Because
that makes it even
pushing
worse.
more stuff into the grooves, I guess.
They're once they start getting like grooves, they can't properly be cleaned because those grooves are always going to have like hiding contaminants in it. So most health departments say that like once they start having some stains on them, or once they start having like grooves and cuts, you have to.
And then if it chips out too, you're eating plastic. You know, like which is not. You're not gonna die, but it's not healthy. It's like whenever a Teflon pan starts tearing up. It's
you
get
can have
rid
those
of
flakes. Yeah.
As soon as it's scratched, it's
and
like,
then if you have wood in your food, it's really not that big a deal.
No,
wood's
not.
Wood's fine for you.
People eat bamboo shoots all the time, and I don't understand that. It's freaking wood.
Pandas eat bamboo.
It's a shoot from a bamboo. I don't even know where those come from.
Bamboo hearts. I'm like, why are you eating this tree, man? I don't. Shots fired, Chaba. I don't know why you put bamboo in your food. I hate it.
You ever made anything with bamboo? It's a strange kind of wood.
I don't even know how you
do anything.
would make something with bamboo. I think people take it and laminate stuff with bamboo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bamboo flooring. There's all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
it's like
laminates.
laminate.
Pour
Yeah,
a
I don't
lacquer
think it's like
around it or something?
I got bamboo, I'm going to glue this up. It's normally a laminate. So if you're buying a bamboo cutting board, which they're very durable, but like it's basically like a thin layer.
A sheet of Lexan or something.
Yeah, I'd rather just have a full wood cutting board and just tear it up because you can't. If you take care of it, you can't.
Just a one piece instead of a laminate. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
So what kind of you got any kind of projects you're looking at in the future? Like, what's the next?
I got client stuff, and then I got the personal list is like never ending. But I want to do like a rolling butcher block cart for our kitchen because we got a big wide open space in our kitchen. And it's a weird place to put a table. We have a real small table, but it'd be nice to just roll a cart over to the stove and just like put all your vegetables out and just cut them all up. And but what the nice thing about only cutting vegetables on a butcher block, super easy to clean, and it's vegetables. Like
you should put
there's not a bunch of bacteria.
You should put
or
like a trash
anything.
can hang on the side so you can just sweep the ends into
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everything in kitchens are standards too. Like Lexan pans and all these things are standard sizes. So if you find hardware that could fit it, like if you can find, and you could build something that slides off, and you just put like a little Lexan for your
boom
for your roots and all that stuff.
The butcher block, like why? Like butcher block is like the specific term for like. I guess it's just a thick piece of wood. Like,
it's thicker, and then to me, like if someone says butcher block, it's gonna be bigger than a cutting board. It's almost like a countertop piece.
Yeah.
And usually they are thicker, but it's up to you how thick you want to do it.
Just whatever you want to do, really.
Just whatever is food safe. I mean, there's a lot of exotic woods that you can't use
because they leach.
They're like it's like a toxic wood almost. Like you don't want your food touching something that's like walnut can be toxic to a lot of other stuff, but they're safe for cutting boards. But you don't want to get some stuff from like Africa or like there's just like some really exotic woods that are toxic.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
you can Google it though. They they have a rating system of what's the most dense and what's toxic and what's safe for cutting boards.
Yeah. I mean, oleander is deadly poisonous. It makes sense. That's a bush. It's made of wood.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes sense that some trees were super toxic. Makes all sense.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't do like a really porous
mesquite's toxic.
Yeah.
But we cook with it. We cook wood chips with it.
Yeah, it smells so good though.
But it'll make your whole arm swell up if you get one of the burrs in you. Yeah. It's weird.
I don't know if it changes whenever it's like kiln dried, and then you can put. I don't know if you can do.
It's like somebody said, "I'm going to make a cutting board with the most dangerous wood in the world."
Well, there's
a YouTube video somewhere. I'm going to tame the dangerous mesquite wood.
Back in the day, man, people would make cutting boards out of pine, but that's when pine was, that tight grain pine,
right?
And then people really took care of their boards as well. But now, like, you're not going to make a cutting board out of pine, not when you got other stuff. And then people are like, "Can you make a cutting board out of poplar?" I'm like, no, even though I put strips of poplar on the edges of cutting boards, like for a look. Like, you're not cutting out there, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you don't put porous woods in a cutting board. Like, you're not going to make a cutting board out of cedar or something.
Yeah. It's like the worst idea ever.
Balsa cutting board.
Cedar, that would also like that would change the taste of the food with cedar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cedar has a smell and a taste and flavor, and it would just leach all in the vegetables.
So you can smoke. You can use these woods to smoke food, but you can't have them contact it.
Yeah, you can cook salmon on top of the cedar.
Yes, that's what it is. Cedar plank salmon. That's
cedar plank salmon.
Yeah, it's not toxic. It's just very porous. You're not going to cut on it because you're going to get crap on it.
Yeah. So you were talking about YouTube earlier. Are you ever going to maybe think about leaning into that?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I mean, you got one video up there that has quite a few views. Right?
Yeah, I have two over 100. There's one video I did with a sandpaper company, and they gave me the video file, so I put it on my channel. It's got like 250-something thousand views.
Yeah.
And then my bio is, I think, the second most viewed. And then there's another one. But they're all up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some like are really low. Like I've done two recently, and they're like at the 500 view mark.
Oh, well, that's better than most of what we put out on YouTube.
Which is fine. Like some of that stuff like will hit way later. Like
oh yeah.
My bio video was the first one to grow. And it didn't grow till a year and a half after it was up.
It's just about like
it's because it got monetized though.
Yeah.
Like it was the most retained video. Like retention was the longest. And as soon as I hit those numbers for monetization on YouTube, they took that video and helped push it everywhere. Because you're like, oh, he's going to run ads on it. We're going to take his best video and we're going to help him with it. And it did.
And
like it made like $650 in 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, just off of AdSense.
So you pulled some money in from doing the YouTube thing.
Yeah, and then I didn't put another video out for 4 months, and they dropped.
Yeah, you gotta stay on it.
They took my AdSense away. So then I reapplied for AdSense, and now I'm like slowly trying to grow my channel again. Yeah. I'm like right under 10K.
Yeah,
and I don't know if something happens when you get to 10K.
Subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not so much a subscriber.
They do have levels. Yeah.
It's not so much a subscriber count. It's
active subscribers.
It's views. Your views and your retention is what pulls.
Like the view duration too,
AdSense.
like the length.
Yeah, retention.
Retention. Yeah.
It's I mean, I'll look at all the numbers and stuff, and if you watch the videos, I only have like 12 up. I changed my style a few times because I didn't know what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do it. I had a few DIY videos. I'm not DIY guy. I'm like, have fun and you can watch me build part of the build or most of the build, and I'm gonna put some music and humor in there.
You're not like a palette crusader or anything like that.
No,
right?
not at all. Which some of the DIY stuff, if I did anything DIY, I'd keep it to like 2 or 3 minutes, just like a real quick.
Yeah,
you can do this in an hour or a day kind of build. But I haven't got there yet. My last 2 videos are like kind of vlog style. Like I went and visited a guy in Round Rock about furniture design. That guy I was telling you about.
Okay,
and then my last one was for the walrus oil. Like, it was very like commercially like ad. But it wasn't like in your face, like you gotta buy this water. It was literally.
Yeah, but, I mean, well, that's a
it
big
was a
thing.
fun product review, is what it was.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like that's our buddy Will Young. Like he works on, or he's into like astronomy. So like he has these telescopes and everything. And one of the things he does is he reviews telescope equipment and stuff like that, and kind of does these little videos over him. He's gotten like a huge following from that. I mean, have you ever gotten product offers, I guess? Like somebody send you some oil.
If it doesn't pertain to what I'm doing, then no. But the guy that started Walrus Oil about 2.5 years ago, I met him at a woodworking show that I got paid to go to, basically.
Yeah.
And I met him there. We had talked through Instagram, but I like physically met him there for the first time, and we became friends. And he's like, "Would you want to do a YouTube video or something at some point for Walrus Oil?" I'm like, "Absolutely, dude. Let's do it." And I was like, "I'll do it for free." He's like, "No, I want to pay you." He's like, "Shoot me a number." And I was like, "All right." We agreed on a price, and I did it. But he's like, "Just be yourself." And he's like, just showcase the product. And I was like,
"Yeah,
all right, cool, done."
Did you ever think you'd be doing this like
no,
10
not
years
at all.
ago?
No,
like,
because
all
I got
social
into
media stuff.
No,
and,
I got into Instagram literally to grow my local.
To get commissions.
Yeah, just to grab more people, and it turned into dealing with companies and stuff,
and traveling to
talking to people about, like, people want to talk social media a lot, and I'm like, man,
how do you get so many followers? What's the trick?
I'm like, there's 100 ways to grow, you know. Like, I'll tell you how I did, you know, but don't live on it. Like, it's like I want people to consume what I'm doing, but I don't want to consume it all day. Like, I'm on YouTube, but I watch very little woodworking on YouTube. It's like
you're too busy doing it.
Yeah, like YouTube feeds me like basketball stuff and other stuff, and I'll get sucked into watching that.
Yeah.
Like goofy stuff.
Dude, you know what I love watching on YouTube recently? Well, I love watching those Indian dudes building those pools, man.
Yeah. Yes.
I love watching that.
Yes, that's the stuff I get sucked into. My kids were like,
I'm like going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I'm like, hell yeah, dudes, build that pool. I'm like, it's like underground chambers, and
they always do it the same way, but I can't not watch the next one.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's like, as a man, like, I love watching people be productive and like doing stuff.
This design too. It's like, what is that ant clay? Can I get some of that ant clay? No, we can't. You know what I'm talking about? They always get a big ant mound.
They always get the big turnaround mound and stuff.
Yeah, they spread it. And I'm like, that's some kind of certain.
Cut it with the wires in the sun.
That's something special, man.
Yeah,
it's got ant droppings in it.
Well, it's like cement. They move out. They move like the smallest particulates to make it, and move out all the aggregate. So it's almost like a cement, you know. It's like it packs super.
It's
super
crazy
tight.
to me what we can't do with our tools, and what they do with a stick.
No, dude, and that's like, all they have. They have a stick.
There's a channel. It's like primitive
technology.
Primitive technology.
I love that.
It is.
And he just makes all kinds of, and it's all stuff that he found in the woods. You know, like he might have a knife.
What's super cool with him too is like you can see the evolution in his video. I think I got on board when he first started doing it, and it was like making a hand axe. That was the first video I ever saw. So he was like chipping a rock in a certain way to make a sharp rock to chop down trees. And if you look on his channel now, it's like building an iron smelter. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like real life Minecraft, where it goes from, he started like knocking down trees at first, and now he's building smelters and houses and all that.
That weapons stuff is huge on YouTube.
It is,
especially if it's any kind of DIY something where you don't have to know a whole lot.
It's like FPS Russia. I miss those videos.
Yeah, those are awesome. I love it. I love the Wild West of the internet right now.
Well,
you can get whatever you want.
We're kind of hitting our time limit, man. Man, thanks for coming. Is there any? You want to drop your links, your Instagram handles, and all that?
Sure, man. The Wood Pastor, everywhere, literally.
Okay,
Siri picked that up.
Yeah.
It's an Instagram handle.
Woodpaster on Instagram, Woodpaster on the Woodpaster on YouTube as well. And,
yep, the Woodpaster everywhere.
You got a Facebook page or anything?
Facebook, Facebook business, Instagram, and YouTube is mainly where I'm at. And my website, like I'm still working on redoing it.
Can people DM
can still
you
get on there
for like
cutting boards
or anything like that? What's a cutting board going for?
If I'm gluing it up, it's gonna be about 80 to 100, unless it's like oversized or like all walnut. And then I'll do like women want serving boards. They don't want to cut on it. They want to serve stuff on it.
Like charcuterie.
Yeah, so I'll do that around like $50-$60 depending on if it's got a handle, what the wood is, and how big it is. But I'm doing several of those soon.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, man, it's been a good time, dude. Yeah. For real. Yeah. I like just talking about wood and
man.
Stuff. Yeah.
Just building
It's like before woodworking, before I got into woodworking, like I didn't do nothing typical manly.
Yeah.
Like, and literally I have like so many old men and young kids and guys my age coming up to me at church and then outside church and like, hey man, like always ask me wood stuff. Yeah. And they like think I'm the manliest guy. Yeah. And they're like, well, who you got on Sunday on whatever? I'm like, I don't watch football. I'm like, why? I'm like, I just didn't grow up watching this. I don't really care. They're like, what about the Astros? I'm like, I want them to win, but I'm not watching baseball.
What's
I'm
your,
like,
what's
I
your
don't
favorite
watch
whiskey?
sports.
Like,
yeah, they're like, what do you do? I'm like,
I make cutting boards,
like,
man.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll be building or we're just relaxing. Yeah, we're hanging out. Big on Pinterest. Honestly, like I'm Netflix surfing if I'm relaxing. Yeah, man. I'm just gonna sit here and just doing nothing is my leisure activity. Seriously.
Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with us.
Well, yeah, not that busy.
Not too busy. Well, that's been A to Z, and we'll get back at you at the end.
All right, big thanks to Steven. Hey, man, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming and doing this. Remember, he has a website. It's thewoodpastor.com. Mm-hmm. He is the Woodpastor across all his social medias. Yep. That's at the Woodpastor on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere.
He's making cutting boards, man. Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming up. He's making like beds and all kinds of stuff. So, check him out on Instagram. That's where he's the biggest. I've already started following him, and it's really entertaining. Remember, also, call or text us at 409-206-2971. That's you can just tell us how we're doing. But like we said in the middle of the episode, we have those ticket giveaways for the Old Lonesome Show.
Yep.
Just call that number, 409-206-2971.
Or you can just text. You don't even have to call.
Yeah,
just text.
Or text. Just tell us what your favorite of all-time blues artist is. That's it. We'll pick one of you guys at random. We're not going to pick who has the most obscure knowledge. And then we'll have your tickets at the will call at the Jefferson. So
you just put your name in the box. You show up, tell them your name. You got 2 tickets to see.
And it's easy. Yeah.
Old Lonesome.
It's that easy. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Randy Edwards over there at Del Papa. Thanks for being our official beverage provider for December. He drops us with a donation of beer.
There's so much beer in the fridge right now.
And not just our podcast is enjoying it, all of the podcasts in our studio is. So thanks, Randy. And, he's a patron. So
speaking of patrons, let's do a special shout out to our patrons. We got Jordan Stringer, Lance Killian, Brian Castino, Doug Waldrop, Michael Sarr, Ben McClellan, Randy the Beer Man Edwards, Allie Gillette, Allison Pierce, Lauren Bibo, and our newest patron, Allie B. Thank y'all so much for just believing in us as much as Hulu or Spot. We're worth the entertainment.
I can't believe it's growing. I can't believe that list is growing, dude.
It's 11 people. That's crazy. And, if you want to be a patron, head on over to patreon.com/A to Z BMT. You can pay $1, you can pay $5. You can do whatever you want. We do have stuff coming for y'all. We're working on it, but that will be in the works. Maybe bonus episodes. I don't know. It's up to y'all. Whoever our patrons are, just let us know.
There's spots in the Patreon where you can tell us some stuff you can get at us. And since you guys are special, let us know. Let us know what you want from us, and we'll try to make it happen.
Yeah.
And on the next episode, stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have the infamous, the man, the legend, Giant Jono.
Hell yeah.
Cigar Box Luthier, Hellraiser, Church Burn Drinker.
Tattoo artist. Just an all-around really good guy. Our old neighbor. But yeah, that one's going to be a fun time. Yeah. So Romp, we talk about old school stuff, living next to Johnny, all the stuff we got into in our partying days.
Sharing a wall.
Tattoo artists and all that stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, and also if you have a guest that you think would be fitting for our show, maybe someone that you don't know that much about but you would like to learn more, give us a call. Tell us their name. Tell us their credentials, and we'll have them on.
Yeah.
You know, we have all kinds of ways you can reach us. You can DM us, slide up in there. You can call the phone number I mentioned for those tickets. But anyway, let us know, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.